Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Houseplant Pixie. For everyone that's new to my channel, my name is Monique and welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning back in to my existing subscribers. In today's episode, I want to talk about my Anthurium clarinervium. I probably had it for a year, maybe a year and a half, and we all know how expensive they were. About 2 years, it was always a wish list plant of mine, and I'll show you the plant. You would pay about $300 2 years ago for a plant like that, and then in Europe they grow like weeds and they use these parts in flower arrangements. Crazy, isn't it? So they're not that dear in Europe, but they were over here in Australia, and I never gotten around to finding one. I looked at specimens, and then when I said, okay, I bite the bullet, I get one, it was already gone. And lucky, because this guy I actually got, it was some random garage sale thing. There was like a sign out in Perth and it said plant sale, and I went inside and had a look around, and then there it was. I have to say, it almost died. I'll show you in a minute, and we're going to repot it. I'm not a big fan when I get a plant to straight away bring it home and repot it. What I like to do, I find a spot where I think with an Anthurium you want high humidity. If you can't have, if you don't have high humidity, you can always mist in the morning. Or a little trick I found is really helpful: if you have a cluster of plants on the shelf, they will create a type of humidity, and these guys need it. So it's on my plant shelf at the moment. Nice medium to bright. They don't need such bright light. It's like similar to philodendron. So they're very easy. Yeah, and I put it with my other Anthurium, so I kind of knew that it would be a good spot for it, but it wasn't in the best soil. So, and here you see, when I repot, I think this part here has died, but then it grew back. I'm not quite sure yet what's going on there. I gotta pull it apart and see what's happening there. So in the soil, it's sort of like not really good. It's more like this dense sphagnum-mossy soil. So I'm not a big fan of it, but I was doing alright, and I was just thinking, well, it almost died, and then I thought, oh, the worst thing you can do is when a plant is stressed out, to repot it. I knew I didn't overwater it. If you overwatered, your rescue plan might be take it out of the damp soil and pot it up, so you prevent the root rot. But I wasn't overwatering it, and I was just like, okay, I watered it and it came back, lucky. And it's one of those things, it's been sitting there and I haven't repotted it. I probably won't film the whole repot because I'm pregnant. I got 1 week to go, and then our little baby is here. Very excited. And I'm gonna wear a mask and I'm gonna wear gloves. So I don't think it's really pretty, but I'm gonna show you this part because I'm probably be able to pull it apart. And the other thing I also want to talk about, I want to show you, we have roots coming out the bottom, nice and healthy. They're nice, and there's a bit of moss on it, but see how nice and they are white, not brown, not soft. Exciting. So this is the previous pot size, and I'm gonna go up one pot size. So, and you probably think, oh, go a bit bigger, but I rather have them sit in, don't size up too quickly, because if you size up too quickly and then you do over water, it fails. I tried that before with the bigger plant. I was like in between two pots and I went for the bigger one and no good. I had to pull it back out because they like to be sort of snug in their pot. And yeah, on the repot, please, oh, you can give it a go, but my advice is when your plant is healthy. So one leaf came up, I waited, second one, happy, next one, happy. There's even, I'll just put this pot down. There's even another little shoot. I'm not sure if you can put my finger. There's a tiny, tiny shoot coming out down there, which means there's no spider mites on it, no mealybugs, no pests, no nothing. It's good to repot it. Potting mix, for most of you that been watching my videos, it's probably nothing new. You know the deal. And I got it in a big pot. I just got that from the shed, so I can just pot it up inside. Usually I don't even film anything, I just have a few minutes spare, and sometimes I don't even plan to repot anything, and then I will pass the plant and I'm thinking, yes, now is the time, and I just do it and I don't do the video about it, and then so yeah, please forgive me. But with the potting mix, we have, just as per usual, I use the same for everything, unless, say, like if it's a cutting, I'm trying not to have the soil too dense, so I'll add some more perlite so it has more drainage, because going from water into soil and then it's really dense, it could cause root rot. So in here I have the white things are perlite, then I have orchard bark mix, and then I have premium potting mix and horticultural charcoal. Super. And don't save money on your potting mix. I go to premium potting mix because then it comes with some sort of nutrients, and also once you repot a plant, don't overdo it. Do one thing at a time. So don't go overboard and repot your plant and then throw fertilizer on it and do this, this and this. One thing at a time. So if your plant is sick, let your plant recover. Well, you got to find out what is the cause. If you overwater, then of course take it out, put it in drier soil, hope for the best, and see. I would never repot a plant that is sick with mealybugs, because no matter what you do, they go and get a shock with any repot. And some plant species even go into shock that they won't grow for a while. So then the recovery is even longer. So take your time, try to treat your pests and diseases before you repot. And fertilize, I only fertilize in spring anyway. We are currently, here in Australia, it's winter. So I like the slow release first thing in spring, and then I probably do 1 or 2 liquid feeds, and that's it. I do believe if you have the right potting mix and if you have the right conditions, like your humidity and your light, your should be all sweet. All right, let's pot it up and I'll see you when I finish. One more thing before I repot. I always use my nursery pot, and then I use decorative pot, no hole. So when I water, the water drains into my decorative pot. Now this comes into play. I like to use paper towel. You can also use coffee filter, fine filter, simply because you have those little holes and your media will have like fine elements that might fall through the holes. To avoid that, I usually cut it into a circle. I won't do that now. And I put it in the bottom, so nothing falls through. Now you wonder probably, the water will leak through. There's still drainage because it's paper towel, and by the time you repot, it'll be broken down. It works like a treat. All right, I know I said I'm not gonna film it, but I want to show you this. So I've loosened the soil off. I just took my gloves off because it's just easier. I've got more feel in my hand to show you. So this part here is sort of really tangled up with the rest of the roots. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna snip it off there and then take that away. So we are left with that. The reason I cut it, it might actually grow back from the base here because all these roots on it, they look very healthy. So I don't want to cut it too much, but that one I'm just gonna discard. And yeah, I'm just gonna loosen off that soil around it. Don't disturb the roots too much. And then I'll see you when it's potted up. And see, that was the old pot. I already loosened some of the roots, and that's gonna fit nice in that pot. So it's all potted up. When you pot up, and I couldn't show you, make sure that your stem is in the center of the pot. Don't actually look at the root ball, because if you look at the root ball, one side could be bulkier than the other, and then you don't get it quite into the center. Also, with this leaf, I'm not sure if you noticed before, it had a bit of browning. You can just cut that and just follow the leaf shape. So now the last thing to do, because the potting mix was dry and I never repot a plant when I watered, it's just less messy and easier. I'm gonna give it a good water and I'll film it for you. And this pot goes into my decorative pot, and she can go back on the shelf. Such a pretty plant. Let me know in the comments below if you got one. If I really wanted to, I could cut that a bit more to mimic the leaf shape a bit better, but I won't. Got my watering can. And slowly, I like to go around the plant, not too close to the stem, and give it a really good drink. That should be, when you first repot and you have the paper towel underneath, just keep in mind the draining, that it will take longer for it to drain through. Once the soil is nice and moist and there's no airlocks in there and stuff, and then you can check it. That's nice drainage. If you really want to, you can tip out the excess water. I don't bother about it, especially with an Anthurium. They don't mind it. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, give it a like. And I'll see you next time. Until then, stay planty. Bye.